AITA for not taking the blame for my husband's car accident. My husband, 46 male, and I, 43 female, have been married for 14 years. We met in our late 20s, and back when we met he was a heavy partier, but I thought he would grow out of it as we got older and moved forward with our lives. On the 4th of July our neighborhood was throwing a party at the clubhouse. We decided to go and bring our 3 kids, 13, 10, and 3. Since our kids were still young, we decided to drive separately in case the kids were tired or just wanted to go home. After a few hours at the party I decided to take the kids home. My husband decided he wanted to stay and would meet us at home later. I said okay. I took the kids home and put them to bed. I waited for a bit for my husband, but it was late and I was tired, so I decided to head to bed and he could just join me whenever he got home. We wake up in the morning and everything was fine until we find out that the car my husband was driving had crashed into our neighbor's daughter's car that was parked on the side of the street. There was a crack on the windshield caused by the driver's head smashing into it from the crash. There was also blood left there as well. I was livid with my husband. He had sworn to me dozens of times that he would fix his drinking problem because it had already affected that kids and our marriage. The police knocked on our door to ask us about the car accident, as it had been our car that was involved. My mother-in-law, who had been staying with us at the time, pulled me aside and insisted that I take the blame for the crash because my husband had recently gotten a DUI and could face serious trouble because of this accident. I refused. I was not going to take the blame for something I didn't do. The police officer questioned me and almost egged me on to admit it was me. I told him, it wasn't me, and if you don't believe me, take a DNA sample because I can promise you they won't match. I am absolutely furious with my husband and my mother-in-law. I am seriously considering divorce. Am I the asshole? NTA. Divorce him. Don't hesitate. What they are suggesting is a crime. Don't ever take legal responsibility for someone else's illegal activities. If your husband can't stay sober and drives in that state, the consequences are all his. Secure all of your financial information, credit, bank details, etc., because he has already proven he will break the law. He can go and stay with his mother if this is her reaction to his behavior. Imagine if one of your children had been in that car? He physically injured himself and lied. How can you be so sure he wouldn't do the same with them? Your husband is an addict. Alcoholism is an addiction. To an addict, everything else comes second. Your children are at risk in his care after the divorce. Unless he can prove he is sober and stable, he should only receive supervised visitation, particularly of the 3-year-old. That isn't vindictive. It is protection for your kids who can't protect themselves. Nothing else matters. Also, report the police officer who implied you should take the blame. Police officers are not above the law, and he should not be in a position of authority. So your husband is a repeat drunk driver who has actually caused crashes? What a terrible, selfish person. I am seriously considering divorce. Absolutely. Husband sounds truly selfish to the core. NTA. You should be seriously considering divorce. If not for yourself, then for your kids' sake. Your husband is not only a threat to the health and safety of your children, but also the financial stability of your family. NTA. Your husband is an alcoholic and he needs treatment, not his mommy enabling him. But you also can't just tell him to fix his drinking problem and it just happens like that and everything is instantly all better. He ultimately has to make the decision to get treatment. But you are going to have to participate in that. NTA, at all. You husband needs professional help now before he kills someone. If you took the blame, then there would be no repercussions to what he did. NTA for not taking the blame. Why should you? Your husband already has a DUI on his record and he was driving again. Possibly drunk. He should be grateful there was no injured by his reckless and irresponsible actions. Edit. The police officer's behavior is odd. Why would he be egging you to take responsibility? My guess is that either your husband, Mill, or perhaps both already said you were the driver. If so, then not only is hubby wrong for the above reasons, he is also an off for blaming his actions on someone else. Your Mill is also an off for suggesting you take the fall for this. The biggest NTA I have ever seen. He could have killed someone, for heaven's sake. Edited to add, your Mill should have taken the rap for him. Also, without divulging too much, if you have taken the rap for him, and the investigation determined it couldn't have been you, you too could be charged with a criminal offense. There are many ways to determine the driver of a vehicle. NTA, and I would be on the phone to a divorce lawyer right now if I were you. Protect yourself financially now. NTA. But OMG, your Mill sure is. She's enabling her son's behavior that got a girl seriously injured. Your husband needs to own up to his mistakes and get some help. This is just the consequence of his actions. And trying to get you to take the blame is so irresponsible and messed up. Edit. Forgot to mention that husband is an asshole too. For not getting help, making bad decisions, and trying to bring down his wife with him. NTA. If you had taken responsibility for the accident, all you would have been doing is further enabling your husband's drinking problem. How else is he going to learn that he has a problem and that he needs to do something about it, if he never has to face the repercussions or consequences of his actions? Your husband is the off for drinking and driving, and his mother is an off for even making a suggestion that you take the blame. If she wants to continue to enable her son, then fine. Let him move in with her and she can take responsibility for all future accidents he gets into. NTA. You need a lawyer and your husband needs rehab. Your Mill needs to be kicked out on her tush and not stay with you anymore. I'm so glad you and your kids were not in the car with him. Why in the world would your Mill want you to take the blame for your husband's drunk driving? NTA. You taking the blame would be perverting the course of justice, and the cops would figure it out anyway. So you'd both go down. Your husband needs help, but not that kind. Your husband needs to be in treatment. And lying to cover up this crash won't help him or anyone else. That's called enabling, and it's dangerous. Next time he'll kill someone or himself. He needs to face the consequences of his drinking, and you definitely need to either leave him or give him an ultimatum about going to rehab. He needs to go to rehab regardless. He needs help and he cannot fix his drinking on his own. NTA. It's past the point where he should be taking responsibility for his actions. Now he'll likely have to. NTA. He did that to himself. NTA at all. This man is going to get someone killed. Why are you keeping your children around someone so reckless and dangerous? NTA. Your husband has a problem. Until he is confronted with the repercussions, he won't change. NTA. Divorce sounds like a good option. NTA. But boy, are your H and Mill. Your husband needs to start taking consequences and everyone needs to stop enabling him. You standing up to this is the first step in stopping enabling him. NTA. Mother-in-law insisting you take the blame for your husband's irresponsibility speaks volumes as to her character.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.